Today we're going to be talking about how to adjust our color in our photographs so that if we're wanting a focal point to pop more, we can do that. Or we can do a black and white against color, which would make it really pop. So we can do it subtly or we can do it more overtly. So today I have a photograph of a rainbow flag, and I thought that would be a really good subject because obviously I'm wanting the rainbow in the rainbow flag to pop out. Also, I don't think it's a super strong photograph compositionally, so let's see if editing the color helps it a little bit. So I'm going to show you how to slightly adjust the colors of one thing and then how to do in black and white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click or two finger click to duplicate my layer. So now I have two layers of my image. And on my top image, I am going to ever so slightly go into image adjustments and go in vibrance. And I'm going to tone it down a little bit because what I'm actually trying to do here is tone down the background. Okay. And then I'm going to go to I'm going to eyeball off of that layer so you can see the difference there. I'm going to go on to my second layer and I'm going to image adjustments, vibrance, and I'm going to really increase my vibrance, not so much that it feels unnatural, but enough that it pops a little bit more than it did. Okay, so now on this layer, I have a little bit less vibrance, and on this layer, I have more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the background from the first layer, but I'm going to remove that part of the flag so that the vibrant part of the flag is visible. So to do that, I'm going to be using my eraser tool. So that would be this guy right here. So I want to make sure I'm highlighted on the right layer. I'm going to keep my top layer highlighted because that's what I'm wanting to erase away. I want to erase away the less vibrant flag to reveal the more vibrant flag. So I'm going to go to my controls up here and increase the size a little bit of my eraser. And I'm also going to zoom in, so Control plus, so that I can see my image a little bit better. And you should be able to see this is a pretty subtle change. Sometimes we make changes, I did undo. Sometimes we make changes that are really subtle, that we're kind of tricking the viewer almost into believing that our edit is real. And sometimes we are making an edit where, the viewer can tell it's a creative edit and that it's not real. So the key to this is to be patient. You want to be able to zoom in where you need to and take your time. And if you need to make your eraser smaller, definitely go in to get those edges and make your eraser smaller. Otherwise, it'll look a little sloppy. So I'm going to move in, go a little smaller. And see some of these smaller parts here that would be trickier to get to. I can use the smaller eraser. Okay, so I'm not going to finish the whole thing in my video here. But so that would be how you would make an edit that is just subtly popping the focal point. So it's just real subtle, just a gentle pop of that color and that vibrancy. So let's take a look at how we would do it if we were trying to make it really pop and we want the whole thing in black and white. So I'm going to open the image again. And what I'm going to do is going to be pretty similar to our first edit. I'm going to two finger click, duplicate the layer again. And then this time what I'm going to do is, instead of just adjusting the vibrancy on that first layer, I'm going to switch it to black and white and play around a little bit with those adjustments, because as we talked about, we really want to have nice, strong black and whites that have contrast. Okay, and so then same thing. So I still have my second layer here that has color, and then I have my top layer which has black and white, and I can still use my eraser tool and adjust the size. I can even adjust the opacity. So if I want it to be a little bit more see-through or a softer transition, I can adjust the opacity and see how that's a little bit softer than the other, which was, really strong color. But I'm going to go 100%. And I'm also going to make my eraser a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. And again, you're going to want to zoom in so that you can really get, the edges so that it looks nice and clean. Otherwise, it can look really sloppy really quickly. This is also kind of nice if you have a stylus at home. Instead of using your mouse, if you've got a stylus, you can just go over it with the stylus. So for some people, that's easier as well. So I'm using my stylus right now. So be patient so you can get good craftsmanship. But again, the goal would be you'd have a black and white against a color image. So again, whenever we're done in Photopea, if you're wanting to save it, we can export it as a JPEG. So we don't actually have anything due this week with this. I just want you guys to play around with it, but we are going to be looking at this for next week.